How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Manatee Gaming. So pretty excited about this video because we're going to be looking over the new well-being bundle that just got released by Jagex, and I'm super stoked to dive into it and really deeply analyze whether it's worth buying. So let's jump into it. I'd love to invite you to join the largest flipping Discord in Runescape. We have over 12,000 members and would love to have you in there. You can find that in the description down below. We have several flipping chats to cover pretty much everything, including our Patreon sections where you can get exact buy and exact sell prices, as well as hundreds of updates all day long. Check it out down below, and I'll see you in there. So Jagex's Wellbeing Bundle has come around at a very convenient time because, as you can see, I am trying to knock out some of my skills I have remaining. I'm working on mining currently right now, and I am only 222k away from 200 million mining, which is super cool because it'll be nice to have it done. If you look at my skill list down here too, you can see that I just got 200 million fishing today, and we've already got smithing done, and so mining is going to be nice to just like add one more blue bar or one more blue star, and then very soon we'll have 200 million cooking, and it'll be basically like all those non-combats are nearly done. So that's what I'm working on right now. And let's jump into that well-being bundle though to see if it's going to be worth it for me to add to my skilling XP here, and for you to do it as well. Okay, so it is definitely worth noting that some of Jagex's promos recently have not really been the best value, especially given the issue that the bond prices are so high. So when I first saw this World Mental Health Day, I was pretty excited because whenever they do some kind of like promotional event that's going to help out some good causes, then I'm usually all in. And to be fair, I'm all in again, like, cause it's only gonna be one bond and whatever. I'm definitely gonna end up doing this regardless of whether it's a good deal or not, just because it'll be going to good uses. But whenever I see things that are given away for bonds right now, it's kind of iffy. It's like, oh no, is it going to be worth it? Because the last one really was not worth it. So let's go ahead and look through this and see what's going on. You can read through this part if you want to. It's like, it tells like where it's all going to. So it's a lot of stuff that they've worked with before. I'm pretty sure, like the mine CPSL, I've definitely seen that before. Also a note too, if Jagex happens to watch this video, I would really love it if you'd bring back those pet tigers and stuff, because I unfortunately did not get all of them, and I would love to be able to get one of those pet tigers. If you remember what I'm talking about, yeah, those were awesome. I got one. Really would like that snow leopard though. So coming down in here, when you purchase the bundle, which by the way you can get for just one bond by going to the store in game and then buying the package there, after you buy that, you're going to get the Stone of Meditation, which it comes with 2 charges. It's right here in this list as well too, which we're going to get to in just a second, but it kind of explains what it does entirely up here. So you're going to get the Stone of Meditation with 2 charges. You might remember this from the Mental Health Awareness Week, which we just had that not that long ago. Activating the stone will give you a 4% XP buff, and the surrounding players for 2% for 1 hour, but you get 2 charges per day, so it's not an hour per day, it is actually 2 hours per day. That's the good thing to remember when you read this, because it kind of sounds like you're only getting an hour, but you actually get 2 per day, and you can store up to 5 at one time, which is also really nice too, because if we're going to be getting a pretty big XP buff, as 4% is pretty significant, and you want to save it for a skill that you just like want to sit there and grind out for a little while, then you might be tempted to save up for the 5. I will be honest though, at initially reading this, I'm really confused at why it's not 6 charges that you're able to charge up, because if you get 2 per day, then do you just waste the last one? I don't know, but hopefully not. But anyway, you can get 5 at one time and do that if you want to. So it's going to be available until November 15th, and then on November 15th, it's going to be converted into 2,500 oddments, which is pretty great actually. I'm planning on making another video probably right after this one or whatever. It's going to come out very, very soon. It'll kind of explain where you should be using your oddments nowadays, because the way that oddments have just dramatically changed. Put it that way. And I've kind of mentioned this with some of the promos in the previous that I've done reviews for, but they've really changed so that people are probably stacking up a ton of them if they're only going for the 75% lamps and stars, but next video. Anyway, just keep the note here that 2,500 oddments is worth like around like 20 pulse, like 20 cinder cores or 20 pulse cores basically. And it's 250 for 2 pulse or 2 cinders, so it's basically worth 20 of the pulse and cinders, which is good to know, and we're going to add that to our list of benefits here. So let's go ahead and jump into this list right here of things you get, and we'll see if it's actually worth a bond. Alright, so Stone of Meditation with 2 charges, so you'll get it with 2 charges, which is nice. Be kind of inconvenient if it didn't give you the charges right away. So just doing some quick math here, if you're going to get 4% XP buff and you're able to do that 2 hours a day, this is going until November 15th. By the time you guys watch this video, and assuming you maybe miss a day or two of RuneScape, you can expect to get about 30 days worth of the stone buff. Now, obviously, you could get more than that, but just going by what I just said. So 30 days, that's 2 hours a day. That means 60 hours of the XP buff. If you were going to get, 60 hours of the XP buff, if you were going to get, let's say, 1,000,000 XP per hour because you're going to save it for like a faster skill or something like that, that will give you something around 2.4 to 2.5 million XP that this stone will give you over the course of 30 days. So that is just like a super rough estimate, and it's obviously going to apply to however you're going to use it. If you're going to do something 2 million per hour, then you can double that. If you're only getting 500k per hour, you can get half of that. But we'll just go ahead and say it's going to be something around 2.5 million XP that you will gain from the stone. And then also remember that you're going to get the 2,500 oddments at the end of it, which is equal to 20 cinder or pulse cores. Let's just go with pulse cores. That's 400,000 experience. So we'll just put the stone of meditation at something around 3 million XP. So that's a really good start, and also that doesn't even include the, like, if you just want to be a really good friend and give people around you an XP buff, then keep that in mind as well. But for you alone, you're gonna get something around 3 million XP from this if you do it right, so that's pretty awesome. Then we go into the pulse cores. Like I just said, these are worth around 20,000 experience each. That's not counting the percent buff they give you after they pop. That's just the XP you get from them themselves, and that's gonna be around 300,000 XP from those. So we're about 3.3 million XP now. These cinder cores, it depends on when you use these, but if you use them during double XP, they're actually pretty awesome. If you use them outside of double XP, they're still really good, but you won't get as much of a benefit from that. Maybe I can explain that in the comments. I keep saying I want to explain cinder cores, and you know what? I will explain it in the video about oddments, because that's when it'll be relevant. But anyway, these cinder cores are going to be worth something around 750,000 experience. But the problem is, though, is they're not going to add any XP. They are just going to burn the XP you already have. So you can think if you want to count that or not. So anyway, we're about 3.3 million, or maybe 4 million if you're counting the cinder cores. Coming down to the 5 medium protein packs, these are going to greatly vary about how much XP they're worth, but they're worth a good amount. And if we just go ahead and batch these medium protein packs together with these 3 large skilling dummy crates, that's something around 1 million XP. It really depends on your levels and everything and what skills you use and stuff like that, but that's something around 1 million. So if you're looking at not counting cinder cores, you're at 4.3 million XP already, which is pretty nice, and we can already say that that is definitely worth a bond. So we can kind of just clear that out now. It's worth the bond. So if we look at the 10 protean power-ups and the 10 combat dummies, these are just kind of whatever. The protean power-ups are useful if you have a lot of proteans, but the only thing is, though, is they don't actually work for the best protean in the game, which is traps. So unfortunately, they're just kind of okay, because most of the things that they actually do work for are not the best to use. So just going by that, I would not really add the protean power-ups unless you just really love them. And then the 10 combat dummies, also not really the most relevant thing in the game. They are actually pretty slow XP for combat. You can AFK monsters for faster XP than you can AFK these things, and then you also get drops from monsters. So the main use for combat dummies, honestly, is by trying to take advantage of them by maybe throwing some mechanized chinchampas at them and area killing a bunch of other monsters. But there's hardly any uses for these at all. Coming down to the death touch darts, that's nice, although like I usually say on these types of reviews, I don't know why we're only getting one. They're not that hard to get in the game now, and so I don't really know why they don't just throw in like 3. I feel like giving you like 3 of them would be more relevant, but hey, if you really love death touch darts, then there they are. You can go and throw them at Nex, because Nex is probably the best thing to use on them on right now, just for benefits versus the time spent. But anyway, oh, and one last thing. Iron Man, can't use them, even though most people don't use Iron Man in RS3 anymore, honestly, because, well, RS3 is not really the nicest to Iron Man. There's been some issues with Iron Man for RS3. I feel bad for you if you've been an Iron Man and had to go through some of that. But anyway, what we can see from this World Mental Health Day is actually does seem to be really well worth it, although a lot of it is going to lean on you actually using that Stone of Meditation daily. Or if not daily, then just making sure you use it before the 5 charges you have at one time are going to be, you know, like you can't stack any more on there. But if you use it pretty efficiently and use everything else in there pretty well, then it's definitely worth the 1 bond. So anyway, guys, I will see you guys in the next video. I'm going to hop in and make that one for you now. And it is going to be Actually, I'm not going to tell you what it's going to be because I don't know what order these are going to come out in, but thank you so much anyway, and I hope you guys enjoy all the content. Please leave comments down below about what you think about this, and hit that subscribe button. I'll see you next time.